Research shows that accelerating progress on gender equality could boost African economies by 10% by 2025. So, if governments invest sufficient resources in girls' education and in women's skills, Africa will be equipped for the future world. Women in Africa are poorly represented in the corporate world, but highly dominate the informal sector. If action is focused on improving the quality of jobs in the informal sector, the gap of gender inequality would be filled. The culture, evolution, and history of African women reflect in the development of the African continent. The African society thrives on a patriarchal system, and despite many steps towards equality, women still face various issues related to gender inequality such as poverty, access to education, poor health and nutrition, lack of political power, limited workforce participation, gender-based violence, and child marriage. Within the formal sphere, African women hold only a minor percent of formal jobs. In most cases, women in the same position as men earn lesser than their male colleagues. Some of the challenges African women face in finding formal work include general lack of education and technical skills, weak protection against gender discriminatory hiring, and the extra burden of unpaid domestic housekeeping duties. Several studies provide evidence that closing the education gap between boys and girls has a positive effect on economic growth. Violence against women remains pervasive in forms of female genital mutilation, femicide involving honor or dowry killing, rape and sexual assault. In the faces of pandemic situations from Ebola to coronavirus, the health of more women than men in Africa have been destroyed, wearing away some of the development gains women had attained in recent years. Poverty in Africa has a more pervasive effect on women. In Africa, women have taken significant steps in the political arena over the past few years. In February 2004, Mozambique became the first country in the region to appoint a woman as Prime Minister, Ms. Luiza Diogo. Women make up over 60% of Rwanda's national legislature, far more proportionally than any other country. In recent elections in African countries, women have increased their parliamentary representation. In most African countries, the presence of women in parliament has made a difference in the adoption of gender-sensitive policies. The fight against discrimination faced by women and girls has been a daunting Herculean task, but it is a worthwhile and generation-defining challenge, and one we should all accept. If we all commit to pulling in the same direction on this issue, then the future is bright. Africa needs to ensure that women's rights are protected in law and that where law already exists, they are strictly enforced.